funny, you'll see it there. Okay.
Good evening and welcome seniors, families, teachers, friends, and distinguished guests. We are pleased that you have joined us this evening for our commencement exercise honoring William R. Boone graduates of 1998. This ceremony acknowledges the challenges, the work, and especially the successes of everyone here this evening. Each individual, from the graduates to the youngest family member in the audience, deserves their moment of honor from all of us. Therefore, in order to give our graduates the respect that they deserve and to preserve the dignity of this ceremony, we request that you please refrain from using all horns and noisemakers. We congratulate our graduates and know that this graduation ceremony is one that will reflect a special passage in their life and that will be remembered throughout their lifetime. At this time, if you will please remain standing for the presentation of colors by our own ROTC cadets. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for the national anthem. Thank you, and you may be seated, please. Seniors, we acknowledge that the diploma that you are about to be awarded represents a much greater investment than the past 4 years at Boone High School. And we would like to pay tribute to the teachers who have touched your hearts over the last 13 years of school. And so what we have done is we have asked teachers that represent schools in the Boone Consortium, which are teachers in the schools that feed in, elementary schools that feed into our middle schools, that feed into Boone High School, to come and represent their institutions. And so we hope that as I introduce some of the teachers from some elementary schools and middle schools that you may have attended, that you will recognize some of your teachers of past. So when I introduce the teachers, if you would please stand, and I would ask for you to please hold your applause until the end. Marianne Olson from Conway Elementary, Frances Knobloch from Conway Middle School, Terry Varn from Dover Shores Elementary School, Sarah Cheseri from Howard Middle School, Karen Wilson from Jackson Middle School, Jacqueline Swarthout from Cayley Elementary School, Linda Ertel from Lake Como Elementary School, Fred Wilson from Memorial Middle School, Kathy Howell from Pershing Elementary School, and Margaret Rainey from Shenandoah Elementary School. Thank you all, and give them a big round of applause, please. Thank you. Graduates or students, seniors, over the past 4 years, many of the Boone teachers and coaches have touched your lives. And so to show their respect for you and to celebrate this special occasion with you, they are here this evening, and I would like to introduce them to the audience. Krista Anderson, Colleen Bakanowski, Donna Blair. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing, please. Ann Bloomquist, Joan Branch, Clarence Brown, Ann Calandrino, Jean Campbell, Annette Cannon, John Christensen, Deborah Clary, Rosalie Cretin, Beverly Davenport, George Davis, Tom Doan, Ruth Ann Douglas, Francis Durden, Gina Emery, Cecilia Esposito, Nancy Fair, Carolyn Fisher, Rick Fleming, Deborah Ford, Eleanor French, Jim Griffin, Jean Grunland, Jerry Groover, Carl Haygood, Netherland Hall, Amaryllis Hurd, Marcia Hudson, Rob Hofelder, Jerry Jameson, Christine Casper, Dale Lewis, Glenn Lestort, Bill Lowry, Mike Lutz, Linda Murphy, Sharon Mazziata, Renee Neal, Alicia Karuga, Doug Ralph, David Pope, Mark Rickman, Ryan Slavnick, Lisa Spear, Jane Spates, Stacy Strom, Terry Tashawn, Belinda Thomas, Nancy Tolan, Cindy Underwood, Louise Weiner, Dan Wendell, and Daisy Wilson. Can we all have a round of applause for our teacher, please? Thank you.
Good evening. On behalf of the faculty and staff of William R. Boone High School, I would like to extend to you a warm welcome on this special night. We gather here tonight to commemorate the significant rite of passage for each member of the class of 1998, an event we share with the graduates, their families, friends, and our honored guests. We are pleased to have the Honorable Mayor Glenda Hood, who will be sharing this ceremony with us. Representing the Orange County School Board this evening will be Mr. Wayne Rickman, and our esteemed guest this evening is Dr. Roy Brooks, our area superintendent. It is truly gratifying to see so many people here recognizing these young people as a true community of scholars. Tonight, we are uniting a common cause to honor students who have completed a long and rigorous journey and who now await entry into the wide scope of possibilities beyond these walls. Graduates, you are not here this evening just to receive a piece of paper or to cross the stage and have your picture taken. You are here so that the entire community can witness your final transition into adulthood. For many long years, you have focused on achievement. Each of you has different goals and dreams, which as many unique paths as there are students in the graduating class. Regardless of where your journey takes you, however, you do share a common vision as a result of your time at William R. Boone High School. The memories of your time within these hallways can never be taken away from you. And as you navigate the roads ahead, those memories and triumphs and losses, the difficulties and the successes will be with you. I am so proud of every student here this evening. I would ask that as the glow of tonight's congratulations fades into another wonderful memory, that we be mindful of the responsibilities bestowed upon each of you tonight, along with the honors and privileges. Seniors, be a light to the generations who will follow you. Take a student under your wing and guide him or her into the right path. Many of the most successful people in the world credit a role model or mentor with helping them stay focused and well-directed. Now that you have proven yourselves as scholars, as role models, and as adults, take the opportunity to share your gifts with others so that your accomplishments will become a legacy. Graduates, you have the power to affect change on a global scale. The future is truly in your hands. Seniors, this evening holds a special place for me. As many of you know, I am leaving Boone High School to take a position at the county level administration. Although, like the seniors here tonight, I am facing this new change with anticipation and expectation. I also have a very heavy heart. Boone High School is very incomparable. Seniors, I've had the privilege of working with you for the past 3 years, and I have witnessed your accomplishments, in extracurricular activities, through your athletics. You have involved yourselves in so many aspects of the Boone family. I want you to know that I had to write these words down tonight because as I look across this audience and to your faces, I remember the memories that we have shared for 3 years. Through your dedication and commitment to excellence, seniors, you have exemplified what it is to be a Boone student today and a brave leader tomorrow. As your principal, I have been honored to stand beside you, and now I am honored to stand before you to bid you farewell. You will always have a home at William R. Boone High School, and for my part, I will never forget this school, this family, this home. I trust that neither will you. Class of 1998, we are better to have known you. We are saddened to see you go, but we are thrilled and happy to witness your accomplishments as you graduate. God bless each and every one of you. To the family and friends, to the staff, to the student body, thank you very much for 3 wonderful years. You are marvelous, and I love you dearly. I want to introduce some very special guests, and I'm going to start from my right, and I'd ask them that if they would please stand, and we'll hold our applause till the very end. Starting in the front row to my right, Dr. Roy Brooks, Area Superintendent, Mr. Wayne Rickman, School Board, Mayor Glenda Hood, Dr. Bonnie King, Assistant Principal, Greg Babcock, Samantha Kaskis, Daniel Cheveroli, Scott Hayes, representing our salutatorians and our valedictorians. Starting back on my right, back row, Ms. Carol Egoff, Ms. Terry Chaffin, Mr. Rick Roach, Mr. Tom Johnston, Ms. Rosa Pearson, Ms. Cindy Cornett, Ms. Alice Wright, and our senior sponsor, Ms. Sarah Kittrell. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. You may be seated. At this time, we have a very special presentation with our Boone Chorus.
May the road
Thank you, Miss Anderson and the Boone Singers. And now, Mr. Rick Fleming and our band. Thank you very much, Mr. Fleming, Ms. Anderson, and to our students. I am pleased to introduce our commencement speaker, Glenda E. Hood, the mayor of our city. and the proud mother of 2 and soon-to-be 3 Boone High graduates. A successful business person, Mayor Hood was first elected to public office in 1982 and served for 10 years as an Orlando City Commissioner. Now serving her second 4-year term as mayor, she is also a board member of the city-owned Orlando Utilities Commission and the Orlando Aviation Authority. She has taken a leadership role in many state and national organizations and has served as president of the National League of Cities, the Florida League of Cities, and the Florida Chamber of Commerce. Mayor Hood ran for public office because she wanted to use her lifetime of community service to build a vibrant, safe, livable Orlando. She set out to accomplish this vision by embracing the rich diversity of our great city, making sure that all voices in our community are not only heard, but engaged in civic action. We are seeing the results of her community building efforts. Orlando's neighborhoods are graced with attractive entrance signs, pocket parks, and tot lots made possible by the mayor's matching grant funds, where city funds are matched with neighbors' elbow grease and local business support. Using the same format, the mayor's Educational Partnership Grants program has started innovative mentoring and tutoring programs, dropout and smoking prevention projects, language and computer labs. Please join me in welcoming a community builder who has shown us that Orlando can be strong and thriving, yet caring at the same time, Mayor Hood.
Thank you very much, Dr. Buckman, and I would like to bring greetings to certainly all the graduates here this evening, the teachers and administrators, parents, families, and friends. Graduates, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the guy and gal who'll decide where to go. Well, this poem was written just for an occasion like this by who else but Dr. Seuss. And you may not have had time to read many of Dr. Seuss's books in the last few years, but I think his simple message says volumes about the importance of this day, the day you really begin to direct your life and make decisions about your future. You know, it was 30 years ago this very week that I sat, as you do, as a graduate of Oak Ridge High School, in the old Orlando Municipal Auditorium, which is now the Bob Carr Performing Arts Center. And I'm sure that my thoughts were of the future and what I might accomplish with my life. I'm also sure those thoughts did not include the prospect of becoming mayor of my city. A lot of people think that becoming mayor of a city like Orlando is a great accomplishment. And I did too 6 years ago when I first walked into my new office at City Hall. But after the past years of actually working hand in hand with the real city of Orlando, the people, you, your families, your neighbors, I have come to redefine the word accomplishment as it relates to my life. And I want to share with you today some important things that I have learned in my role as the daily caretaker of your city. In his book, Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, Dr. Richard Carlson says, if you ask someone what is a meaningful accomplishment, the typical responses will be things like achieving a long-term goal, or earning lots of money, or winning a game, or getting a promotion, or being the best, earning praise, and so forth. The emphasis is almost always on the external aspects of life. And while there's nothing wrong with these types of accomplishments, they're merely ways of keeping score and improving our circumstances. They are not, however, the most important types of accomplishments. Seeing your photograph in the local newspaper may be a nice thing to achieve, but it is not as meaningful as learning to stand strong in the face of adversity and standing up for your moral convictions. Why don't we redefine our most meaningful accomplishments as being those that support and measure qualities such as kindness and happiness? Our most meaningful accomplishments stem from inside. Was I kind to myself and others? Did I overreact to a challenge, or was I calm and collected? Am I happy? Did I hold on to anger, or was I able to let go and move on? Was I too stubborn? Did I forgive? These questions and others like them remind us that the true measure of our success comes not from what we do, but from who we are. As Dr. Martin Luther King reminded us, it is the content of our character by which we should be measured. Staying focused on our internal qualities and accomplishments will ensure that we are helping to build our community by being a caring and contributing citizen. If I could invite each of you to join me for a typical day, you would find yourself meeting and listening to the concerns of people throughout our city from all walks of life. We're a wonderfully diverse community, and we are so fortunate to learn from one another and to support one another. What could possibly be a better definition of community than that? A group of caring and committing citizens that feel responsible for the welfare of their family, their friends, and their neighbors, and even those that we do not know or those that seem different than us. I'd like to share with you one of my favorite stories about our responsibility to one another. It's a poem. An old man going a lone highway came at the evening cold and gray to a chasm vast and deep and wide, through which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sullen stream had no fears for him. But he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. "Old man," said a fellow pilgrim near, "you are wasting strength with building here. Your journey will end with the ending day. You never again must pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you the bridge at eventide?" The builder lifted his old gray head. "Good friend, in the path I have come," he said, "there followeth after me today a youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm that has been naught to me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I am building the bridge for him." And my hope is that all 502 of you will be bridge builders in the future, that you will think of the ones that come behind you and may need a strong hand to guide them across the chasms of life. You have the freedom to choose to direct your life to the highest purpose, and you will show the world the path that you have chosen each day in everything that you do and in everything that you say. As individuals, we learn that we cannot absolutely ensure that we will achieve wealth or success or even happiness. Life is uncertain. The only factor that we can control totally is the moral quality of our lives. It is never too early to begin to think about how to live, about what kind of person to be, about what kind of an example we want to set. Because in the end, as always throughout history, we can only place our hope for the future in the goodness and in the character of our citizens. Now, character is not easy to measure, like getting a high score on the SAT. And I would suggest that when you look for it, it's better not to focus on rock stars or sports heroes or even politicians. Look instead a lot closer to home. I have learned to recognize character and integrity in everyday life and people, and I am immeasurably enriched by this realization. Consider the elderly person who chooses cheerfulness over complaint, who tries hard to be a support to others rather than a burden. Consider the young person who cares enough to say, "No, I won't let you have the car keys. You've been drinking," or "I cannot help you be a cheater." Consider the office worker who decides, "I will not laugh at a racist joke," or the college coach who sacrifices a winning season to maintain the team rules and his own integrity. These are acts of quiet courage, recorded not on monuments or in newspaper headlines, but in the minds and hearts of the people they touch. You'll have many opportunities to make important choices. The sweep of history will offer you such opportunities as it did to my generation. But so will your everyday experiences as you deal with life's challenges, the complexities and inconsistencies with which we all struggle, some with more decency and integrity and generosity of spirit than others. A famous theologian, Paul Tillich, said, "Morality for ordinary people is not the result of reading books and writing papers. Morality is not a subject. It is life put to the test in dozens of moments." Another great theologian has touched my life. Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German citizen who was one of the most influential Christian philosophers of the 20th century, was teaching in this country when Hitler came to power, and he chose to return to Germany to fight the Nazi influence. He was arrested and sent to a concentration camp. The last order Adolf Hitler gave before he committed suicide was that Bonhoeffer, whom Hitler had never been able to bring to his knees, be put to death. Bonhoeffer was executed 2 days before the Allies liberated the camps. And there's a quote from Bonhoeffer's diaries which has great meanings to me. It says, "One credible act is worth 1,000 sermons." And I say, one credible act is worth 1,000 commencement addresses. We seek alone our individual opportunities, great and small, to perform that one credible act. The great humanitarian of our age, Mother Teresa, said, "We cannot do great things on this earth. We can only do little things with great love." I encourage each one of you to direct your life so that your accomplishments are measured by your credible acts done with great love. Our city and the world will be better because of you. Now, Dr. Seuss has a few more words of advice for you on this special day. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you for letting me be part of your extraordinary day.
Thank you so much, Mayor Hood, for being a part of this tonight. We've got 4 very special young people to my left, and these folks have worked very, very hard. If you'll look in your program with me, you'll see that we have 2 salutatorian speeches and 2 valedictorian speeches. They will be in the order that you see printed there, and they will follow one another. At this time, I'd like to introduce 4 very, very special students of Boone High School: Daniel Anthony Cheveroli, Scott Ryan Hayes, Gregory James Babcock, and finally, Samantha A. Caskus.
The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where had been the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. Though as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, and leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how a way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. This is a poem about choices, about decisions. To get here tonight, we've all had to make many choices. First off, we've all obviously come to class enough. We've decided when to study, when to work, and when to have fun. We're graduating tonight, which means a time for some of the most important decisions of our lives. Some of us will continue our educations at a four-year university. Others will begin at a community college, and others still will begin their careers. This is a time of tough choices, choices that we must continue making. Some of us will continue to use academics as a means for progress, whereas others can work well with their hands in such areas as mechanics, sculpture, and art. As I said before, these choices will be tough, but they must be made, and this great class will come out on top. But making choices is difficult and hard. With as much pride as I have in this class, I'm afraid we aren't perfect. We've had a few problems in the past. I had a friend in middle school whom I knew would one day be a Major League Baseball player. He had his whole life planned out. Then high school came along with a path chosen which was filled with drugs, and he made a change in direction. Some bad choices were made, and approximately 2 years ago, he lost his life to heroin. Some of you may remember this incident, for it has left an impression in many of us. Someone else I'd like to talk about is Chris. I've known him since my days at Conway Elementary School. We've hung out on weekends and played volleyball together. He's been a good friend. On top of this, his SATs are extremely high. He was to officially graduate with honors, and he's the recipient of a scholarship to the University of Central Florida. He was recently withdrawn from school for missing too many days, and soon after was placed in a drug rehabilitation center. Chris still has a chance. He has a path to choose. He still can make something great of his life. It all depends on his next choices. My other friend, however, doesn't have the second chance. The paths we choose will make all the difference. Granted, we can't predict the future, but we must use a decent amount of insight when making our decisions. We must take responsibility for our actions and be sure to stay on the truest path possible. As we make these choices, others will surely follow. The actions taken concerning these new choices must also continue to follow the straightest path possible. By using judgment and a little insight, we can achieve anything. The time has come for the class of 1998 to reach the point where two roads are diverging. What we will do, where we will go, is all up to us. We must make smart choices and move on to new experiences and even newer choices. It's our time to move on with our lives. It's our time to succeed. Thank you.
Good evening. I'd like to first off thank my two awesome parents for watching over me, for guiding me, and instilling in me self-confidence that has helped me get here tonight. Without the two of them, I'm sure my path here would have been a much more difficult one. Tonight, I'd like to talk about athletics and how I've learned a lot about school and about life from them. Athletics have taught me some of the major lessons in life. Some of these are how to set goals, what teamwork is, and how we all need to be self-motivated. Luckily for me, these lessons transferred over to the classroom and tremendously helped me out there. Goals. Goals are milestones that we set in order to have an end in sight. In athletics, as well as academics, goals play a major role. Usually, goals for a team revolve around winning some sort of championship or just making it to the playoffs. In academics, goals are made to make it through each semester or each year or for the entire 4 years we were at school. All of us here tonight have accomplished a common goal of graduating, but as great as this feels, it is time to set new goals. These new goals must be obtainable. If we set unreasonable goals that we can't reach, we run the risk of becoming frustrated and even possibly giving up our dreams. Goals must challenge us to work hard at whatever we are going to do in the future. whether it be at college, or in the military, or out in the workforce. For the next couple of days, after all of the commotion that accompanies graduation starts to slow down, I challenge each and every one of you out there to set a goal. Whether it is a short-term goal to get through the summer or a long-term goal that will help guide you through life, set a goal. Having goals gives us a sense of direction and comfort that we all need. Going through life without goals is like playing a championship game without a game plan. It is nearly impossible to succeed. Teamwork. Teamwork is essential for any student or any team. Athletics has taught me how to interact with teammates. It has taught me that you don't always have to like your teammate, but when game time comes, you must be willing to push all grudges aside and play as a team. In the academic field, we have teammates too. Our classmates, our friends, our teachers, and even our parents are our teammates. I know, for me, without the guidance of those around me, that many of my successes would have never been realized. Athletics has also taught me the value of constructive criticism. For me, this was an extremely hard lesson to learn because it involved admitting that I could be wrong. Constructive criticism is basically a nice way to tell someone that they are going about a situation in a wrong way. In order for the criticism to work, we have to realize that it's for our own good. Criticism can be a very useful learning tool, but to work, it takes the ability to change and accept another's point of view. Admitting we are wrong is a humbling experience, but in life, if we are unwilling to admit to our shortcomings and our faults, then we are unwilling to grow. We then become unwilling to see others eye to eye, and we become unwilling to achieve goals which we have made. We must not be afraid of being wrong. We must keep an open mind to things about us that need improving and improve them. Self-motivation. Self-motivation is the backbone of success. Whether I was out on the field playing a sport or inside the classroom, I, myself, had to be motivated. Athletics taught me that in order to succeed, I shouldn't have to have someone there beside me every minute encouraging me to go on. That lesson transferred over to the classroom and helped me out tremendously. Once a teacher assigned something and made it clear as to when it was due, that was all the motivation I needed. I knew the consequences if I didn't finish an assignment, and to me, it was always a better feeling if I didn't. Athletics also taught me to never give up. This principle comes in handy when numerous jobs are dumped onto us. If we get discouraged and give up, then nothing would ever get done. But if we take a little piece of the pile at a time, then sooner or later the task will get done. We all know the feeling of completing a task. It is a feeling of gratification and accomplishment. It feels much like we are feeling right now, here tonight, and I hope that this feeling is never too far away from any of us in the future. Many times it seems so much easier to give up than to keep going through all the aggravating tasks that we come across on a daily basis. As the late NC State basketball coach Jim Valvano, who died of cancer, once said, "Don't give up, don't ever give up." No matter how bad our situation may seem at the time, there's someone else out there whose problem is worse. If we have the will to succeed, then we will. And if we have the will to succeed and motivation backing it, then nothing out there is off limits. If we truly believe in our hearts that we can succeed, then we will. If we doubt ourselves and our abilities, then we won't. Well, Class of '98, I truly hope that what I just spoke about made some sense and made you think a little bit. I hope we can take some of these lessons and apply them in the next phase of our lives. We're at a pivotal point. There's a future ahead of all of us out there. Let's get our feet wet. Let's not watch life from the sidelines. It's a much more rewarding and fun to play the game. Thank you.
Thanks, y'all. I'm Greg Babcock, the Boone High School weighted valedictorian. Hi. Good evening, fellow students, family, friends, and guests. I would first like to take this opportunity to thank the two most important people in my life, Thanks, Mom and Dad, for guiding me not to limit my choices to only what seems reasonable or possible, for imposing these limits would have hindered my progression to what I truly want, and all that would be left is a compromise. This is a lesson I have learned well. I've been fortunate to have been raised, along with my brother Kevin, in a family where a strong faith in God and daily prayer has given me a solid foundation for life and whatever the future holds. Also, I would like to take a moment and acknowledge the teachers and staff at Boone who have been dedicated, positive role models over the past 4 years. It is sad that tonight marks the ending of our high school careers. This is the last time we will see one another at the same place, at the same time. Some friendships will last forever, while others will fade away. But graduation is not the end, but the beginning of something greater for all of us. While some people may seem dead certain about their futures, that's not the way it is for all of us. When you're feeling up in the air about life, take advantage of the view from up there. Enjoy the landscape, the patchwork of possibilities that others might miss in their singleness of purpose. And trust that sooner or later, your balloon will float down, and you'll know just where you want to go and how to get there. Our future paths will be just as diverse as our student body. As we enter the new millennium, we find ourselves in a world where cutting-edge technologies become obsolete every 6 months, and the volume of information available to us is growing at an exponential rate. While we are surrounded by this ever-changing environment, there's still one key to being truly successful in this world. Making good ethical choices gives a person infinite opportunities at success. Good ethics is the key to success. We make ethical choices every day. Sometimes the options presented are cut and dried between right and wrong, while other times a bad decision is easy to rationalize into what appears to be a good decision. But rationalization does not make following the ethically bad option correct. Selecting the morally correct choice is the only real choice. For example, a student spends the night before an exam studying until 3 a.m. He knows the subject backward and forward, but when the exam is handed out, his mind goes blank. He reads the first question 5 times thinking, I know this stuff. I just read it last night. Why can't I answer the question? Then he realizes that all he needs is a hint to help get started. If he just takes a peek at his neighbor's paper, it will all surely come together. If he doesn't peek off the paper, he will fail the course. Perhaps too many would think nothing of looking off the other student's paper. Remember, it is only to jog their memory. But whatever form it takes when someone cheats, don't they profess to know something which they do not know? Don't they pretend to have done something which they did not do? Making good ethical choices is something which we all can do. Everyone here knows the difference between right and wrong. While sometimes the ethically bad choice appears to be the only road to success, it is actually the road to failure. Do not jeopardize your future by making ethically unsound choices. They will hinder, not help you. I would like to conclude with a few words spoken by Dean Waller regarding achievement. Each new day is an empty page in the book of your life. It will come to you clear and fresh each morning, waiting for you to fill it with wonders. This empty page is yours to crowd with music and laughter, with work and achievement, with friendship and love. And in the future, every time you turn back to it in memory, you will smile in satisfaction at the joy of it all. Thank you very much, and congratulations, William R. Boone High School's senior class of 1998.
Tonight is the last night that we will be gathered as one group, one class, the senior class of 1998. We are closing one door and opening another, a door that leads to new discoveries and infinite possibilities. As we take our first steps onto this new path, we must take advantage of a trait that we all possess. This trait is curiosity. Curiosity is the means through which we discover. Our first steps as a baby were brought about by our curiosity to view the world at a faster pace and with taller eyes. We have made it through 18 years of asking questions and trying new things, and we will make it through many more. Curiosity is what lets us find out that we love tennis or playing the flute and hate Rocky Road ice cream or mowing the lawn. Curiosity as simple as wondering what someone's name is, or as crazy as wanting to experience falling freely through the clouds with your hands in the life of a parachute. Throughout history, the curiosity of people has led us to some great inventions: gas-driven automobiles, a walk on the moon, frozen pizza, and even Windows 95. We naturally want to take steps in directions that better our lives, and curiosity helps to pave the way. Curiosity requires a bit of courage and a willingness to leave behind one's safety and the known and to take a risk. The result can be a new friend, a favorite hobby, a new thing to completely avoid, or a new world of possibilities and dreams. Any way we look at it, it's about self-discovery. Just as we have in the past, we must continue to be curious about the world around us. Now is the time when we are leaving the world of high school and stepping into a world of new faces, new places, and new responsibilities. We must have the courage to feed our curiosity, introduce ourselves to someone new, and not be afraid of burning dinner or turning the white laundry brown. As we leave here tonight, we are all taking different paths. Some are going far away because they're curious what it's like to live in South Carolina or Texas or South Africa. Some are curious what it's like to serve our country. Some want to know how it feels to be self-supporting, and some want to understand molecular biology. One thing is true for us all. We are all waiting to discover what life is like after high school. Our curiosity will lead some to discover what it's like to have another's life dependent upon a scalpel in a gloved hand, or what it's like to teach a child how to read. Wherever curiosity may lead us, we must go. Curiosity won't cause us to die, but lack of it will limit our possibilities and hinder our dreams. Our lives will continue to be a series of questions sparked by our need for discovery. The answers will help form our sense of self and our knowledge of the surrounding world. As we walk across this stage tonight and throw our orange and white caps into the air, we must remember all the opportunities that await us. Don't be afraid to question anything and try everything. We don't want to regret something that we never gave a chance. Today I received a gift from my parents that had a quote from T.S. Eliot that I'd like to share with you. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out how far one can go. So don't be afraid to take that risk and discover what life has in store for each and every one of us. There's a whole world waiting out there to be discovered, so be curious and discover it. Thank you.
Dr. Buckman, I'd like to present to you a very special class, the class of 1998.
I've got to be the luckiest man in the world. I've got 502 children. Adults, not children, I am sorry. Dr. Brooks, I certify that all members of this graduating class have completed the official requirements for graduation under the regulations of the Florida Department of Education and the policies of the School Board of Orange County. Parents, at this time we're going to award diplomas, and if I could have your undivided attention, I'd greatly appreciate this. I've been in a number of ceremonies, from college ceremonies to various high school ceremonies, and I want you to know something, that each one of these youth mean a lot to this community, to the folks on the stage, and I know especially to you. I would greatly appreciate the fact that as we progress through this, that you would allow these youth to be heard, to be seen, and to have their moment in the sun, in the glory and the hard work and dedication that they've provided. And that just basically means celebrate their success at a time when you can, and that's at the end, so that each and every one can be heard, especially their name. I'd greatly appreciate that. At this time, if my guest will come forward, we're ready to award diplomas.
Receiving the diplomas first will be the senior class officers, the SGA officers, and National Honor Society. Nicholas John Schauber. Joseph Reginald Ramos Tangal. Kristen Dawn Barris. Maurice Williams Campbell. Deborah Marie Reynoso. Sarah Elizabeth Engel. Tara Bradshaw. Elizabeth Diane Francis. Sarah Jean Tripp. Heidi Marie Aldinger. Robin Elizabeth Allen. Leanne Marie Alonzo. Amy Elizabeth Ammerman. Stephen Griffin Errico. Gregory James Babcock. Barbara Janine Bond. Nicole Lynn Bozard. Daniel Caban. Tracy Michelle Jehovan. Daniel Anthony Chiavaroli. Barbara Lindsay Clark. Scott Samuel Clary. Gladys Raquel Cato. Gina Marie DeFlippo. Christy Velasco Esteban. Scott Leslie Filter. Kevin Thomas Floyd. Marcelo Labrador Gayahan. Catherine Mary Gibson. Susan Karina Gonzalez. Scott Ryan Hayes. Nicole Tennille Hempkes. Giovanna Martina Heretes. Hannah Ruth Holbrook. Evans Alden Hood. Amy Christine Horning. Nancy Elizabeth Huddleston. Geraldine Cassandra Hughes. Samantha Ann Cascas. Allison Renee Komanowski. Barda Kozarowski. Adam John Lalikos. Amy Marie Larimore. Melissa Ray Morris. Erin Christine Myers. Paul Ernest Pope. Brianne Marie Rayleigh. Jamie Lynn Rigsby. David Jose Rivero. Robin Renee Robertson. Jessica Pearl Royal. Richard Dustin Schultz. Ryan Paul Sermons. Carolyn Marie Stana. Shelley Marie Stoops. Andrew Allen Storch. Julie Ann Tarabolas. Courtney Lynn Thaxton. Rianne Marie Thor. Anna Brindley Thomas. David Richard Troggett. Mimi Vo. Ashley Elizabeth Vogt. Elizabeth Ann Whitney. Stacy Ann Willoughby. Rebecca Louise Zivak.
Roy Everett Aker. Nancy Rose Abel. Megan Jean Adams. David Robert Alexander. Michael Angelo Alexander. Bibi Bodura Ali. Rachel Alyssa Allen. Gabriela Alvarez. Lynn Alvarez. Christopher Ray Anderson. Jamie Elizabeth Anderson. Mark Oliver Anderson. Shanika Shante Anderson. Erica Andre. David Ryan Ansley. Jessica Lynn Arnold. Sean Michael Artman. Gabriel Donnell Bailey. Travis Scott Bailey. Harold Stanley Ballargen. April Deanna Ballard. Maciel Alicia Barcinas. Casey Ann Barker. Matthew Thomas Barker. Christopher Lewis Barnes. Kimberly Diane Beecroft. Jennifer Nanette Belanger. Christopher Bruce Belisle. Javier Luis Benitez. Cassandra Nicole Bennett. Jana Barrios. Julia Beverly. Thomas Lee Black. Renata Mion Blake. Edward E. Bleska. Brandon Lamont Blount. Sulamita Rebecca Boyre. Arturo Lee Bolin. Shannon Lynn Bond. Linda Christelle Bato. Maureen Elizabeth Brady. Rhea L. Branker. Cameron Edward Brennan. Tyler Clark Brennan. Renell Nathaniel Brewster. Jacqueline Patricia Bridwell. Craig Darnell Brown. Jermaine D. Brown. Pete Joseph Brown. Sanjay H. O. Brown. Dennis Alexis Brown. Jennifer Lee Bryant. Christopher Franklin Buchanan. Aaron Nicole Beaker. Cameron Robert Burns. Michael Brandon Burns. Elizabeth Christine Cabrera. Natalie Edma Cabrera. Matthew Brian Kale. Antonio R. Kennedy. David Kano. Benjamin David Carlton. Michelle Carmona. James Allen Carty. Sandra Lizette Cervantes. Holly Ann Chamberlain. Stephen Virgil Chambers. Wayne Patrick Chambers. Stephanie Ann Cheney. Tony L. Claytor's absent. Michael Ian Clayton. Dana Marlene Cochran. Matthew Keith Cogsdale. Christy Ann Cole. Benjamin Scott Colson. Kareem Antonio Colazo. Yesenia Colon Saez. Daniel James Cooper. Jason Michael Cooper. Manuel Arturo Coronado. Luis R. Cortez. Alicia Elizabeth Cox. Joshua Christian Cox. Michael Lee Coyle.
Erin Crabtree. Laura Marie Crete. Christy Leith Kramer. Derek Cruz. Roberta Antonio Cruz. Carlos Gustavo Diembra. Twan Dane. Jamel Daniel. Antigo Lisa Daniels. Cindy Nicole Daniels. Micah David Darling. Andrew Link Dar. Alona Patrice Davis. Andrea Nicole Davis. Heather Lynn Davis. James Turner Davis. Jason Harold Davis. Randy Renee Davison. Amber Nicole DeCamper. Alexander DeGaldo. Douglas DeVore. Matthew John DeCaro. Manuel Diaz. Shannon Marie Doster. Sean Leslie Darthard. Kristen Joy Dubray. Amy Love Edwards. Mary Kathleen Engel. Tiffany Nicole Epps. Gabriel Micah Expanik. Andrew Thomas Iwasco. Thomas Micah Farrell. Casey Lawrence Fisher. Talisa Fisher. Amy Elizabeth Fiscom. Erin Kathleen Fitzgerald. Jenny Flores. Stephen Scott Ford. Brooke Fowler. Bradley Carl Ford. Deverica Amanda Gallatin. Nancy Lauren Galt. Emily Ruth Gardner. Lisa Celine Jatel. Catalina Gavira. Ann Gibson. David Allen Gore. Nancy Gonzalez. Renee Kristen Gonzalez. Wilson Gonzalez. Wilson Juan Pablo Gonzalez. Nicole Ann Goodwin. Joy Ann Graham. Margaret Elizabeth Guy. Jennifer Lawrence Hart. Brian Douglas Helms. Christopher Wayne Helms. Christopher Henderson. Jessica Hernandez. Mary Beth Herring. Brenda Don Hurst. Jabbar Polikar Hoffman. Lisa Kelly Hochek. Brian Reed Holmes. Misty Apparel Holt. Terrace Wayne Holt. Suzanne Louise Harnberg. Jeremy Daniel Harner. Tanit Hosford. Felicia Nicole Howard. Rhiannon Patricia Howard.
Christopher Scott Huffmeyer. Amy Renee Halsher. Todd Gentry Hurley. Jennifer Phyllis Hyatt. Tanika Virginia Irvin. Michael Robert Ezo. Nicholas Joseph Jankowski, Gaius D. Jenkins Jr., Tracy Elizabeth Jenkins, Leanna Jennings, Christy Lee John, Valerie Brooke Johnson, Adam Michael Jones, Opal K. Juneau, Marianne Carkinney, Summer Hope Katz, Amanda Ray Kearns, Nicole Yvonne Kershaw, Danielle McElraith Kest, Son Pil Kim, Ariana Arnett Kimball, Selena Tamika King, Russell Wayne Cannery, Brian Jonathan Knapp, Laura Lynn Knight, Shannon Jean Knight, Candace Marie Knowles, Melissa Lori Cacklin, Stuart Randall Kuhn Jr., Mianna Regina Kuntz, Christopher J. Capico, Alan Martin Korn, Sarah Jean Kovar, Justin Daniel Kraft, Jennifer Marie Keebler, Christopher Paul Kurtz, Veronica Labrador, Nicole Renee Legata, Charlize Danielle Lancaster, David Mark Lindblom, Ratina R. Lindsay, Valerie Nicole Little, Anuska Leanne Livingston, Jennifer Lynn Lomax, Montelli Lopez Jr., Robert Stephen Lovett, Shannon Margaret Lowe, Ingrid Maria Lucena, Kevin Andrew Lutz, Daniel Lynch, Kelly Ann McDonald, Megan Kyle McIntyre, Lori Jill Madison, Magdalene Y. Maldonado, Lacey Celia Manfredi, Donnie Marzikai, Melissa Marquez, Justin John Marshall, Suzanne Marie Marsteller, Carrie Jo Martin, Daniel Roberto Martinez, David Michael Martinson, Yvonne Lisseth Masso, Rebecca Ellen Morrow, Heather Ann Maynard, Joshua Michael McAmee, Thomas Charles McLean, Whitney Ann McConnell, Tasha Marie McElroy, Letitia Ann McFarland, Sarah Ellen McHenry, Angela Grace McNaughton, Joshua Mejias, Noberto Mejias Jr., Richard Lee Mignard, Lena Michelli, Vinya Maglati. Adam Edward Miller. Benjamin Robert Miller. Robert James Miller. Sean Carey Mills. Damaris Milton. Christopher Allen Mock. Jacob Andrew Molson. Rhonda Marie Monahan. Richard Bruce Montgomery. Brandon Troy Moran. Luz Angela Marino. Justin Curtis Morgan. Brent Allen Mulberry.
Jahira Natal. Kara Lee Newcomb. Atu Nemo. Ashley Nicole, Brian Eugene O'Rear. Aaron Lynn Oakes. Lambros Alexander Oakley. Gloria Christina Okoro. Matthew Craig Oglesby. Miguel Angel Oquindo. Justin Allen Pace. Catherine Elaine Palmer. Christina Lynn Parham. Brooke Renette Paul. Carla Brooke Pazar. George Roberto Pina. Ryan Lanning Penzi. Manuel Eugenio Ferrero. Raul Perez. Kimberly Nicole Perry. Elda Petit Ferrer. Tiffany Nicole Petrie. Christopher Pickren. Karen Pierre. Melissa Ann Pearson. Eljan Vermelho Benuela. James Vester Pittman. Rachel Leah Pope. Maureen Mystical Powers. Tady Brendes. Christina Victoria Prout. Jerry Lynn Purvis. Miguel Angel Quiles. Vanessa Marie Quinones. Lisa Michelle Rabb. Kelly Lee Raines. Cecilia Luisa Ramirez. Omar Ramos. Justin Wayne Raspberry. Nathan Thomas Ratliff. Paul E. Raver. Kristen Hollister Ravo. Mark Timothy Ray. Adrian Fair Reddit. Melissa Marie Reeves. Steve Registe. Raphael Restrepo. Elaine Reyes. Kimberly Ann Rich. Roger Paul Richardson. Kim Cherie Rios. Anthony Joseph Rispoli. Ryan Rivas. Ivan Rivera. Jonathan Rivera. Rachel Lynn Rivera. Roberto Luis Rivera. Hedrick Rivero Jr. Jamel Demetris Robinson. Ketsi Yvette Roche, Christopher Wallace Rodriguez, Felipe Rodriguez, Felix Rodriguez, Lorraine Rodriguez, Lorelis Rodriguez, Marcus A. Rodriguez, Viviana Rodriguez, Emily Roman, Michael Lewis Roman, Ingrid Dayanara Roque, Henry Rosado, Stephen John Rubelman, Jamie Parker Rule, Brianne Melissa Sacco, Anna Marie Sander, Sterling Sanders, Vianelli H. Santana, Javier Santiago, Marian Santiago, Alicia Marie Santoro, Kristen Lee Souter, Megan Schock, Christopher James Shandell, Amy Elizabeth Shipper, Elizabeth Margaret Schubert, William Royal Sandy Schwager, Javon Liddell Scott.
Chastity Michelle Sears, Elvin Sepulveda, Natasha Royale Schatzer, Jonathan Richard Shea, Tiffany Ann Schrum, Catherine Emily Schumann, Christina Lynn Sykes, Christian Joseph Simeone, Matthew Allen Simmons, Amy Marie Seitz, Dennis William Smith, Joshua Stephen Smith, Lindell Perry Smith, Roderick Tremaine Smith, Tarl Edric Sokolitsky, Ricardo Lamont Sorrell, Elizabeth Ann Elaine Sutherland, Kevin Daniel Spain, Lori Elizabeth Sparks, Amanda Jean Spivey, Angela Marie Spur, Nisa St. Ange, Sarah Therese Stafford, Matthew Scott Stevens, Philip Eugene Strang, Barbara Nicole Strazzi, Lindsay Renee Strum, John Charles Stewart, Anno Stivell, Courtney A.A. Sullivan, Elizabeth Rose Surgeon, Jason Swift, Anna Marie Tarr, Rian Lorraine Thies, Thomas John Thoss, Johnny Ray Thurman, Michael Patrick Tobin, Tina Marie Tooley, Keshe Lee Torres, Rachel Monique Torres, Victor Torres, Dylan Andre Townsley, Brett Matthew Troutman, Cynthia Carmel Trevino, Michael McRae Tripp, Paul Luis Trevino, Stephen John Van Middlesworth, Allison Ann Varela, Michelle Cherie Vass, Jacqueline Nicole Vaughn, Jonathan Samuel Vaughn, Jonna Natalie Vaughn, Francisco Jose Vega, Rosangela Villafane, John Albert Vopel IV, Jeffrey Hamilton Vos, Michael Philip Wabi, Rodney Wade, Stephen Eugene Wade, Antonio Dwayne Wallace, LaTanya Regina Watson, Andrew Brian Weaver, Dwayne Roy Welch, David Adam Wester, Brian James Whaley, Donald Edward Whitmore, Mick Andrew Whitney, Jody Marie Wilder, Africa Chiffon Williams, Carly Marie Williams, Chanel Brooke Winfrey, James Eric Withrow, Bruce Wall, Lindy Ann Wolf, Ryan Richard Wolf, Amanda Nicole Wood, Kellyanne Yarber, Herbert Glenn Ibarra, Stacy Lynn Yazerski, Katrina Michelle Young, Melissa Jane Yahtzee, Charles Randall Zell, William Michael Zielinski, Erica Zubiria,
Let's give our graduates a round of applause.
Would the graduates please stand? Mr. Rickman, on behalf of the superintendent and the faculty and staff of William R. Boone High School, I certify to you that all members of this graduating class are eligible to receive official recognition of their graduation.
Thank you, Dr. Brooks. On behalf of the School Board of Orange County, and by authority of that school board, I hereby confirm this recognition from William R. Boone High School on each of you and congratulate you most heartily on this notable achievement.
Seniors, if you will take your tassels, move them over to the opposite side. You are graduated. Ladies and gentlemen, if you will all stand, please, and sing the alma mater.